levels of management. Every individual in the organizational hierarchy is responsible for successful completion of a particular task. To be able to fulfill that responsibility, he is assigned authority or the right to take decisions. This authority responsibility relationship binds individuals as superiors and subordinates. It gives rise to different levels of management in an organization. Generally speaking, there are three levels in the hierarchy of an organization: top management or top level, middle management or middle level, then it comes supervisory or operational management or supervisory or operational level. Everywhere you will find it as referred as low level or lower level. Top management or top level consists of the senior most executives of the organization. They are usually called by Chief Executive Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Sales Officer, President, Managing Director. Top management is a team consisting of managers from different functional levels heading finance, marketing, etc. Now coming to middle level management, they comprises of marketing managers, purchase managers, purchase head sales manager, operation manager, branch manager, finance manager, etc. And finally, in the lower level, or you can say that in supervisory or operational management, foremen and supervisors are the main key player in this hierarchy of the organization. Now coming to the functions of the top level management, their basic task is to integrate diverse elements and coordinate the activities of different departments according to the overall objectives of the organization. These top level managers are responsible for the welfare and survival of the organization. They analyze the business environment and its implications for the survival of the firm. They formulate overall organizational goals and strategies for their achievement. Basically, they are responsible for all the activities of the business and for its impact on society. Now, coming to the functions of middle level management, they interpret the policies framed by the top management. They ensure that their department has the necessary personnel. They assign necessary duties and responsibilities to them. They motivate them to achieve desired objectives and cooperate with other departments for smooth functioning of the organization. They are the link between top and lower level managers. They are subordinate to top managers and superior to the first line managers. Now finally, coming to the supervisory or operational management level. Supervisors directly oversee the efforts of the workforce. Their authority and responsibilities is limited according to the plans drawn by the top management. Supervisory management plays a very important role in the organization since they interact with the actual workforce and pass on the instruction of the middle management to the workers. Now we move on to a new topic, that is functions of management. Management is described as the process of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the efforts of organizational members and of using organizational resources to achieve specific goals. So, we can say that the functions of management are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Now let's see what are they one by one. Starting with planning. Planning is the process of deciding in advance what to do, what to be done, who is to do it, how it is to be done, and where it is to be done. It means it is a function of management which determines in advance what has to be done, and they set goals in advance and develop a way of achieving them efficiently and effectively. Organizing. It is a second function of the management which involves the assignment of tasks, the grouping of tasks into departments, and the allocation of resources to departments, then establishing authority required to carry out a specific plan which is being set during the planning process. Staffing. It is the process of assigning competent people to fill roles designed for organizational structure through various steps. Or we can say that it is finding the right people for the right job. Now comes directing. Directing defined as the process of instructing, guiding, leading, influencing, motivating, and inspiring all the human factors, resources, or employees to perform their task assigned to them and to achieve the organizational objectives. Directing includes the following elements: leadership, motivation, and communication. And the last, controlling. It is the process of monitoring performance and taking action to ensure the desired result. It is done to see that the right things happen in the right ways and at the right time. Now, after all the functions of management, let's move on to the coordination. As we know that a manager has to link all the diverse needs of each and every individual and every group towards the achievement of a common goal. The process by which a manager synchronizes the activities of different departments is known as coordination. So we can say that coordination is the force that binds all the other functions of management. It is a common thread that runs through all activities. The process of coordinating the activities of an organization begins at the planning stage itself. It means you have to start coordinating all your activities since your primary function, that is planning. Coordination therefore involves synchronization of the different actions or effort of the various units of an organization. Coordination is considered to be a separate function of management. Sometimes it is, however, the essence of management for achieving harmony among individuals' efforts towards accomplishment of group goals. In the absence of coordination, the result is a total chaos in the organization. The definition of coordination highlights the following features of coordination. Let's see. Characteristics of coordination are: coordination integrates group efforts, coordination ensures unity of action, coordination is a continuous process, coordination is an all-pervasive function, coordination is the responsibility of all managers, and coordination is a deliberate function. You will find that in this slide 2 points are missing. That is, the first one, coordination integrates group effort, and coordination is the responsibility of all managers, but we will discuss these points also. The first one, coordination integrates group efforts. The concept of coordination always applies to group efforts. There is no need for coordination when only single individual is working. The need for orderliness, integration arises only when more individuals are working as different individuals, come from different backgrounds, have different styles of working. So there is a need to coordinate their job and channelize their efforts towards the achievement of goal. The next one is coordination ensures unity of action. Coordination leads to unity of action towards the organizational goals. It acts as the binding force between various departments and ensures that all the actions are aimed at achieving the goals of the organization. Coordination is a continuous process. Continuation, just like management, is a never ending process. It is carried on by all the managers at all the time. Its need is felt at each and every step in the enterprise. It starts with the planning function and continues till controlling. Managers must work continuously to achieve and maintain coordination between different activities and efforts, because in the absence of coordination, companies cannot function efficiently. And coordination is a pervasive function. Coordination is universal in nature. It is needed at all levels in all departments because of interdependence of various activities. Means all the activities are interdependent on each other in any of the organization. In the absence of coordination, there is a possibility of overlapping and chaos instead of harmony and integration of all these activities. Coordination is the responsibility of all managers. Coordination is the function of every manager in the organization. Top level managers need to coordinate with their subordinates to ensure that the overall policies for the organization are duly carried out or not. Middle level management coordinates with both the top level and the first line managers. And operational level management coordinates the activities of its workers to ensure that work proceeds according to the plans. And finally, coordination is a deliberate function. A manager has to coordinate the efforts of different people in a conscious and deliberate manner. Even where members of departments willingly cooperate and work, coordination gives them a direction to that willing spirit. Cooperation in the absence of coordination may lead to the wasted effort, and coordination without cooperation may lead to the dissatisfaction among employees. So, we can say that coordination is a very essence of management. The coordination is important as it integrates the efforts of individuals, departments, and specialists. The primary reason for coordination is that individuals and departments in an organization are interdependent. Therefore, managers need to reconcile differences in approach, timing, efforts, or interest. At the same time, there is a need to harmonize individual goals and organizational goals. The need for coordination arises due to following reasons. The first one is growth in size. The need of coordination increases when the organization grows in size, because in large organization there are more numbers of people working, and employees generally come from different backgrounds. They have different attitudes, different style of working, different experience and objectives. So in order to bring harmony in the organization, management has to integrate individual goals with the organizational goals through coordination. The next one is functional differentiation. The functions of an organization are divided into departments, divisions, or sections. Each unit tries to perform its mission in isolation from the others, so there may arise conflicts between them. Coordination helps to synchronize activities of these divisions so that they proceed uniformly in a single direction rather than working as an independent unit. And finally, specialization. In modern organization, there is high degree of specialization arising out of the complexities of modern technology and diversity of tasks to be performed. So, organization employ a number of specialists who think that they are the only qualified personnel to evaluate, judge, and decide. They do not take advice or suggestion from other members, which leads to conflict between them. That is why coordination is needed to avoid conflict between the specialists and the other members of the organization. With this, we come to the end of chapter 1. Thank you for watching all the videos. Thank you all.